form, but still in time. And slowing down where you need to slow down and speeding up where you need to speed up. He's very, very good.
That drum take is 9 minutes and 51 seconds long, and it's a single drum take. And it's one of his great moments recorded. I mean, it's just absolutely stunning. It's one of the great things I've ever heard out of anybody.
Masses and masses and masses of equipment. There's walls and walls and walls of guitars. There was a 40-foot long table which was about 5 foot in depth, full of every conceivable guitar effect ever made, dating back to when guitar effects started. These are talking about old fuzz boxes from the 70s and things like that. It was very funny. It never stopped coming in. Wow, I found this Hammond organ on eBay, and then next thing you know, this brand new Hammond organ will appear. There's totally, with not a scratch on it, which has been in someone's closet for 400 years.
Okay, we're going to do this guitar part. I pick the guitar I think that is remotely going to be closest. Nope, that's not the right guitar. Then we might bring down 5 guitars from upstairs where all the guitars were and try 5 different guitars and settle on one. Okay, that's the right guitar. Then decide, is that the right cabinet? I got maybe 6 or 7 guitar cabinets, so then we might go through any number of 6 or 7 guitar cabinets to find the right cabinet to now go with the right guitar. Once all that's done, then I begin the process of, say, recording the guitar part, which would last anywhere from an hour to 6 hours or something, until I'm satisfied that I've got the guitar part done. After I do that, then it'd be like, okay, let's do the vocal. Then we got to set up maybe 10 different vocal mics to see which mic best works on my voice. After we do all the vocal testing, then we may say, okay, look, we're going to start tomorrow fresh and set it aside, and then we might go and work on some other overdub on the song we were just on, which begins the process all over again. What's the right guitar? What's the right pedal? And this is how it goes day after day. Same thing for bass. What's the right bass? And so the minute we're ready to go, then I'm recording. There's no break between the spec end of it, which is the right equipment to use. There's nobody there to do that job for me. I have to do that job myself, because I have to be the one to make the decision.
Son of God, you know you must arrive in the light. Bring the light, let's bring the light, bring the light, bring the light.
At this point, we've made roughly 6 Smashing Pumpkins albums that you could call standalone albums, and every album's pretty much been the same. And I've spent a lot of time in those years wondering, why isn't it different? And for whatever reason, it's just the way it worked out. I can't think of another way to do it.
I think there's other ways to work. I think there's a way you can do less songs and not get so caught up in the kind of long haul submarine submerges and you don't see land for 6 months. But as far as making a record like we made, no, that's it. I mean, that's the way you got to do it. You got to work 12 hours a day. You got to work 6-7 days a week, and you got to just not let up until it's perfect. And it's like, if there is another way to work, I wish somebody would tell me, because you know, it would make my life a lot easier. But I really don't think so. I think that's the way we know how to make it right, and I don't think there's any other way for us to do it other than taking the time in Scottsdale, taking the time at the Alley, playing for hours and hours and hours until you get to the point where you're relanguaging things. You get so bored with things that you just move on, and the new things sound better than the old things. That's the only way I know how to make a great record.
Somebody, of course, would logically say, well, you could just get other musicians to come in and play parts that you want. And at times I've actually thought about doing more of what the Beach Boys used to do, which is like you hire these great studio musicians and, you know, sort of sit there like orchestral style and say, okay, you play that, you play that. And maybe someday I will do that because I can just be a composer. But I haven't found another way yet, no.
I had always thought, after the band broke up, I had always thought that we, at some point, would get back together. I mean, as far as like our musical relationship went, we never really were that far apart. I mean, we were always working together. So to get back together to do Smashing Pumpkins, it was always kind of in the back of our heads. It all means something. Like, I knew that the intent was so pure and the music was everything was so altruistic. The band now is killing. I mean, the band is like, it's the best band I've ever been in. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how that stuff works out.
You should